Hi, my name is Alan Shelton. I'm from the Spiritual MBA, and today we're going to talk about charging the story field. This is a pointer. A pointer is a way to point towards your true being and the stance that you would take in your presence and consciousness, as opposed to living the assumption that you have likely been handed as a part of your upbringing and conditioning. It is an inherent part of the spiritual path, and it's the one that we utilize quite a lot in the spiritual journey. So you are born a perfect story. That's the news flash you might not have thought about. We call this perfect story an original myth. In the Eastern world, they call that I am. And you can tell the perfect story is I am. There's no blank there, so we haven't filled in the blank yet. So the perfect story is the one without all of the blanks filled in quite yet. And your original myth will be the only story like you that will ever be lived. And it is the closest one to awareness or the consciousness that you are itself. So knowing that you are a perfect story is incredibly important in the understanding of how to charge the story field. As a child, you would construct all of these wonderful stories. A lot of times you would be reading fairy tales, and you would get in your blanket fort, and you would get everything ready for the dragons and the queens and the kings and the fairies and everyone else who would come along and that would populate your world. And actually you created a story as a tangible reality. Well, that tangible reality is the one to build if you want to charge the story field. Now, why would we want to charge the story field? Well, by charging the story field, you move yourself out of the belief systems and the constructed mental beliefs that you have that what you are lives in the attributes that you are and the way you describe yourself, and into the tangible story world of what was when you were the small child with your flashlight under the blanket. So stay a perfect story. Consciousness leaps into being through story. It is through the perfect story that one becomes a conduit for being and consciousness to move through you and for you to be the conduit that you are. To charge the field of existence, live in your perfect story. So how do you use that? Well, whenever you feel the sense of inauthenticity or the sense that somehow or another you can't quite get rooted or your feet on the ground, go inside and ask, who am I? And then take a look at underneath of who am I and see if you can't find the true identity of you, the one that hasn't been laden with all sorts of characteristics. And when you find that personality, or when you find that true identity, personality is the other thing, not the true identity. But when you find that true identity, that's the one that the pointer is asking you to step into. So this is Alan Shelton with the Spiritual MBA. I hope you've enjoyed this little pointer. I will see you at the next pointer. Been fun. Bye.